Hello my gorgeous makeup loving friends, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Teresa. The lovely Christina from Gourmande Girls was so kind. I made a recent purchase with her, and in addition to sending me on the things that I had purchased, she also sent on 2 freebies, one of which is the new Ethereal palette. How kind is that? So I'm being super transparent. It was obviously gifted, but this is what it looks like. It's coming out August 9th, but I've created this look with it. This video is a swatches, a tutorial, and an overall review. So if that sounds like something you are interested in, then do please keep on watching. Oh my goodness, so I'm going to try and swatch this. I say try because I always find that these lovely, beautiful duochrome shades never really come out that great when you swatch them, but I will do what I can. I'm going to go outside when I swatch them on my arm, just to try and get you to have an idea of what these look like. But let's start with the face swatches first. So that is it. I mean, you can see there's a beautiful metallic finish on each of these. It's frustratingly beautiful. I'm going to see if I can kind of show the shifts of these using a mirror. Fingers crossed. Okay, it's really difficult to show in the mirror, but you can kind of see that this shade here is quite pinky here, and then in the mirror it looks very orange. This is coming off a lot more lighter toned, and this shade is far more purpley in the mirror, whereas it's orange or goldy here. Yeah, you can kind of see the shifts in this way. So let's see if we can kind of show it this way. I mean, this one, you can kind of see it's very yellowy toned. It's coming up a little bit more pink in the mirror. This is coming up a lot more lilac-y toned. And yeah, you can just see the shifts a little bit more. There's definitely a very metallic sort of a shift to them. It's quite unique. So I've switched off the lights completely so you can see what they look like in natural light, i.e. without my ring light and the umbrella lights. And I'm hoping that kind of by putting a torch on them, you can kind of see the lovely reflective pieces that come with them, the really glitteriness. So, I mean, it is hard to show these things, but you can kind of get an idea there just how kind of glittery they are. And again, you can see that one goes from a purple to red shift. They are very, very glittery. Look at that one. That is, I think, the shade Ethereal. It's gorgeous. You know me, that's my kind of shade. Look at that beautiful double chin. But yeah, I can get a kind of an idea from that. But like I said, we're going to go outside now and see what this looks like in the natural light. Okay, I wanted to show you the swatches as they were on my arm without any sort of direct light on them. And you can really just see how spectacularly pigmented they are. I mean, some of them just have the most beautiful kind of shift to them. And you can kind of see that in this rather dark room. But they do look so pretty. So let's go out into the natural light and have a little gawk at what this looks like. And look, we are in the direct sunlight. Look at how beautifully metallic-y, shiny each of these are. Believe it or not, they're even more beautifully sparkly in reality, because I'm just looking at glitter on my arm and I'm like, why is this not picking up on camera? But you can kind of see the shifts. Now, I'm not in direct sunlight because I'm the colour of a ghost and I will burn, but you can kind of see each of the shifts here. Look at that beautiful sparkliness. Oh, if this isn't some sort of dramatic porn scene, then I don't know what is. Look at that. This is makeup porn. This is swatch porn. Num 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 num. Look at that. Look at the glitters. Right, that is fucking beautiful. And again, you know me, guys, I'm not brilliant at swatches, but if these look amazing with my shitty swatches, can you imagine how amazing these look on your face? I mean, I'm just saying. Oh, trust me, I know this is a disgustingly simple look, but I was like, this is such a pretty palette. I feel like I don't have to do anything like wabam with it. It's called Ethereal, so I want to do something that was a bit like gentle and soft. And I am trying to use well, not the whole palette, but trying to just use the palette in isolation with no other eyeshadows. But I am doing my thing of using eyeliners. So I'm just starting off. I've like primed the eyelid and I'm using this Beauty Bay gel liner in the shade Aurora. It's a very pale pastel purple, but I will say it almost turns up as like a white on me because, well, you know, I'm dead looking. But I'm just popping that there. You can see it's quite whitish on me. And no, don't have to go on with any sort of precision with this. I am literally just lumping that everywhere, lads. I mean everywhere, because I am going to be blending the shit out of this. But I was thinking I'll probably do a look like this for my friend's wedding, because you see she has me as like one of the maids of honor, or I don't know what the story is, like bride of honor, maids, bride's person. And her cousin is also going to be like a bridesmaid, and her cousin wants me to like do her eye makeup, and I was thinking something like this could look really, really pretty and really gentle and sweet, because my friend Maeve, it's her wedding, and she's a little bit like mythical, like a beautiful gorgeous unicorn. So she loves, you know, things like flower crowns and things like that, because we are wearing like kind of flowers in her hair type thing. So I just thought this would make an awful lot of sense. So I'm kind of half trialing this, but also, you know, I won't add all the things that I'm going to add on the day. Like I'm going to add like obviously like some gems and stuff here, but I won't do that on the day because that would be bananas. You just be sitting down eating your dinner and then you just like have a, you know, a flower or a butterfly or something fucking going into your pasta. Like that's not exactly ideal. Okay, so there you go. I've put down that kind of pastel purple, and the next thing I'm going to use is this Urban Decay 24/7 liner. It's in the shade Shock, and it came as part of their Wired collection, which, by the way, the fucking palette was so stupid because it was them like trying to redo the electric but shitter. But the liners were pretty darn good. And I'm a tad bit more precise this time around. Still a bit like all over the place, but I'm just putting it around the eye here in the general kind of cut crease fashion, as some might call it, and then bringing the line up here. I know it looks a bit, you know, slapdash, but don't worry, it's grand. And then just bringing a little bit of the liner over here as well. Again, nothing massively precise. I want it to look a little bit like, not haphazard, but, you know, not exactly like detailed and graphic. Because like I was half thinking of putting in like graphic liner, and then I was like, no, that kind of would ruin it. I don't know, that was my thought. And I'm just taking this Inglot 208 and I'm going to blend along here, but don't worry, I'll speed this up so you don't have to listen to me natter on. I just love how disgustingly simple that is. I'm using this blank canvas E10 and I'm going into the shade Pure. So this shifts kind of like a blue toned kind of white. It's quite unusual. I will try and get you decent swatches, so hopefully you've already seen those. But I will say that because I'm applying it to like a purple base, it's gonna look a little bit different, so just bear that in mind. So I'm just kind of popping that on the inner corner, and a little of this goes a long way because it is very pigmented. I mean, look at that. It is showing up for the party. I'm like, hey, look at me. I just think it's so pretty, so iridescent, so fairy-like. Oh, you can see the kind of tinge of the bluey green. It's almost like a turquoise leaning type thing. It is just stunning. And I'm just going to bring it up because, well, I can do what I want. It's my channel, etc, etc. Much more belligerent, arrogant things I could say. And I'm just going to pop some up here as well. You know me, I love doing the brow bone. I just want to make it look like I'm shiny and glistening, but not sweaty. Never sweaty. Oh, like my friend Maeve was over the other day, and her mum was like fitting like the bridesmaid's dress, and it was so warm that I just was like, just by standing and doing nothing, I was sweating profusely. Like, you know it's bad when your legs are sweating. I was like, what is going on? Although I am on like specific medications that definitely make me sweat like way more. And I'm like, well, this is attractive. So it's going to be fun. I'm going to sweat through that fucking dress. Oh well, it'll be fine. But I mean, it's so simple what I've done here. Like, but the shine on it is just so pretty. Like I'm doing, Sahil does this thing where he just loves looking at himself in the mirror like he's a fucking parakeet, and he's just like, But do you know what? With this, I do feel like I'm looking at myself in the mirror being like, who's the pretty girl? Me! I'm a pretty girl. This is beautiful. It's giving me sort of like the Danessa Merrick's Lightwork 3, but like not as expensive. You know, it's not the same sort of like formula, but it's giving me the same sort of effect. And now I'm taking a Zoeva 238 and I'm going into the shade Astrid. And that is quite like a blue to purple sort of a tone. Very, very pretty, very gentle. I like that there are some very gentle shades in here, but there are also some deeper shades as well. And you'll kind of see once I pop that in here, it looks very similar to the shade Pure. But that's simply because I'm an idiot and put Pure on top of a purple. So of course it's going to end up leaning in the same sort of way. So just bear that in mind. And no, I haven't put any sort of like glitter glue down because I just wanted to see what the story was, because sometimes I find when I put down a glitter glue that it kind of like almost accentuates all of the lines on my lid and just shows off how disgustingly wrinkled I am and how the ravages of time have like decimated my face. So I try not to avoid it, but I'm like, if I can get away with it or without it, I'll do it. But yeah, the aging process, not very kind. But you can see, you get a good whack of it on. Like I've just been going at it really gently, but like you can get really beautiful colour out of it. It's super pigmented. Like it's not a creamy formula like the Danessa Merrick's is, because that is like a cream based formula. But you know what, I kind of prefer a shadow simply because with creams I'm very worried that they're going to go off really, really quickly, or things are going to like grow in them. And I know shadows have an expiration date, but I'm not as like grossed out by them like getting to an expiration date. Or am I weird for that? I probably am. I'm probably sitting there being like, Teresa, the fuck is wrong with you? So many things. So many things. I'm going in with my finger now because I'm gross and disgusting. You know, a drag name in high school. That's for you. That's for you, Wilma. Yeah, oh God. I'd say even this as a highlight would just be disgusting. Like in the best way. Like not in a, ugh, yuck, gross kind of way. Like in a nice way. And now I'm using this Artitude Cosmetics liner and I'm going into the shade Exquisite. And this, I mean, it's aptly named. I don't know how to describe the shift on this. There's like a red, purple, orange to it. It is so interesting. Like, Christina, you fabulous human. You really did very well on this. So all I'm doing is just kind of popping that along where the lash line is here. Now I'm taking it dry. I haven't put any Mayron or anything like that. Am I pronouncing that right? Is it Mayron? Mehron? Who knows? Obviously the people who work at Mehron or Mayron, they know, but not me. And you knew that I wasn't going to know these things. So I'm just following along that line. Again, not doing it wildly precisely because who cares and who has time for that sort of thing. This is just to give me that extra bit of like depth and to smoke it out a bit, and this is kind of perfect for that. I think like the colours she's chosen for this are really great, and I've been playing a little bit with the Radioactive palette and I will do a video on that at some point if you would like it. Even if it's just swatches, I'll do it at some point. But it's, formulas are so good, and like for an indie brand to kind of keep things at quite an affordable rate, I'm quite impressed by that. Like, I think that's pretty darn cool. don't know why I said it in that way. I'm having some sort of like an emotional breakdown, it seems. So you can see that this is almost like a winey Merlot-y shade. I don't even drink, but it sounds like I'm drunk. But there you go. But you can see there, that's applied really, really nicely. And all I'm doing now is just taking this blank canvas E10. It's totally without any shadow on it. And I'm just going to gently brush across here in an attempt to just make it a little bit less harsh, because you can see hopefully on the other eye that it isn't quite as like wabam. But again, you can see that this diffuses like really quite easily. I don't have to worry too much about it. Not that these are the things I worry about. I worry more about like, you know, never being able to afford a house and all that sort of nonsense. Adulthood. It'll be fun, they said. I'm taking a little bit of Exquisite and I'm just going to pop it here and smoke it out a little bit more to get that same sort of intensity that I have on the other eye. I mean, we're almost done. This is disgustingly simple. I'm kind of liking that these days. I'm taking another Artitude Cosmetics and I'm going into the shade Nova. And Nova's quite a pretty one. It's like a lilac violet blue sort of shift. It's just very beautiful. It's disgustingly beautiful. It reminds me a little bit of the It's Belle Flare palette, but with more kind of range of shades, because obviously that was only a £9 palette. So I think if you couldn't get your paws on that, this might be, because sometimes It's Belle is difficult to purchase from. They're not always in stock. So this might be a good alternative. Sorry, nattering on. But anyways, I am just popping that along here. And it's super pigmented, so I'm going in really gently. Oh, well, I said that, and then I've obviously taken a big chunk of shadow. Well done, you big Egypt. But anyways, look, whatever, it'll be fine. It's just makeup. It'll all wash away in the end. One would hope. I can never understand people who like tattoo their makeup on. I'm like, I change my like ideas around things every day. Couldn't have the same makeup look all the time. I'm just using this Morphe M562 and I'm gonna diffuse that a little bit. I mean, look, that's how simple this is. I know, I hate myself. Remember me doing like loads of graphic liners and stuff? But you know what? I think it's because we're heading into the last stages of summer and I'm like, let's just capitalize on that like breezy Ethereal. I mean, it's fucking called the Ethereal palette. So let's just like capitalize on that. And I'm kind of here for it. I need to blend that out a bit more. Let's have you looking like sisters, not contestants in the same pageant. I don't know. I'm in a weird mood. Anyways, I think it's possibly because like we're filming R&R tonight, and we wouldn't normally film on a Thursday, but it's just because my friend was around yesterday. I was like, I'm gonna have no time to film it. But there you go. That is it. I'm going to feck off now. I am likely going to use one of these shades as a highlighter, you know, but I'm going to feck off now and I'll come back, show you what it all looks like together and have a little chat about it. I did end up using the shade Pure as a highlighter and I went very like gently in with it because I didn't want to go like ham on it, but this is what the look looks like at this stage. And gotta say, I really like how gentle and sweet and kind of romantic looking this is. So I'm going to zoom you into the eyes now so you can see what it looks like. So obviously I added in flowers and some gems, and lashes are the style Sassy by Lois Cosmetics, code down below. But I mean, it's very, very gentle. This is a very Alexis look. My lovely friend Alexis, she likes purples, and I just was kind of somewhat inspired there. But yeah, it's just so simple, very, very gentle sort of a look, but you can really see the shimmers, the duochromes, it all works disgustingly well together. Ugh. So what do I think of the palette? So I only used 4 shades out of the overall 12 in this palette today, but I have used it on other occasions. I've swatched them and I think this is really, really special. Obviously, it's not a standalone palette, that kind of goes without saying, But I mean, duochromes, multichromes, they're such a thing right now, and I just think the formula in this is really, really nice. I think she's done so well. It's just beautiful. If you are into like these sort of colors, you're gonna have no problem. It performs without any issue. I don't have to use any sort of like glitter glues or anything with this. It just is beautiful. It's fabulous. It's really nice that I get to work with a palette that has no issues in it. So for me, this is like a 10 out of 10. I really, really enjoyed this. Now again, take that with a pinch of salt. It was gifted to me, so maybe there may be some unconscious biases in there, but I did think it was absolutely gorgeous. So if you are looking at this and tempted, I would recommend it. I think it's just a beautiful, versatile palette. But anyways, that is it. That is the end of the video. Do please like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell because it is polite. And do please share, because sharing is caring. Except, of course, when it comes to STDs, in which case, you know, you just gotta wrap it up. But that is it. That is the end of the video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.